chat about the Medical Training Initiative program and pediatrics and neonatal health, which is offered by the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health. So before we start, I do not represent the GMC or the NHS or the Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health. This video is just to promote awareness among the international medical graduates regarding the sponsorship pathways as an MTI. So if you wish to have more details about the medical training initiative in pediatrics, please mail to rtip@rcpch.ac.uk. So, all right, for those of you who don't know what is MTI or the Medical Training Initiative, it is, a program by the UK healthcare system, the health care authorities, and the Royal Colleges, in which international medical graduates, like from the developing nations, get a chance to come to the UK, learn from the UK system, learn from the evidence-based practice for 2 years, and then go back to the countries. During this period, you would be granted registration for the GMC by the Royal College. So it is basically sponsored GMC registration. Mind you, this registration can be lifelong if you wish to continue, but usually it is every year it gets revised. So what sort of post should you expect if you're applying for MTI? Ideally, for the basic necessity, I would say, is having a postgraduate degree or a diploma or fellowships in the respective field, as in pediatrics. So yes, you would be expecting somewhere, mostly it happens that you start at a SHO or a junior level, then you progress up to a middle grade level as a registrar. So it basically depends on the trust, basically depends on your competencies that you have and like the way you're progressing. So yes, some may start at ST1, that is a basic level, and they progress to ST3 in 6 months, and even higher post depending on the availability and the way you perform. So, what are the eligibility criteria for you to have MTI in pediatrics? The first and foremost, that you should not be a citizen of the UK or the European Economic Zone, absolute contraindication, I would say, and you should be a citizen of lower middle or the middle income group countries as defined by the World Bank. So mostly Southeast Asian countries fall into this, African countries fall into this, South American countries would fall into this. The second basic requirement for you to have a basic English, requirement, as in you must have IELTS or O8 medicine. As I've described in the videos before, IELTS, you need to have minimum 7 score in all the 4 substations or subclasses that you may say, that is the reading, listening, writing, and speaking. The same goes with O8 medicine. You ought to have at least B grades in all those. After this, you must have at least postgraduate qualification, which should be at least 3 years. So this becomes tricky because few countries would be giving MD pediatrics, few would be giving some fellowships, few would be giving some board classification or board certified degrees. So it all depends. The basic necessity is still that you should have it for a 36 months structured training program. People like for India have a 2-year diploma child health. See, it's not written that they will not accept it. They have just written you should ideally have a 3-year structured program. You can always apply. There's no harm in applying. Your primary medical qualification should be accepted by the GMC. In short, you should be able to get the EPIC or the ECFMG verification that yes, your primary medical qualification was given by an institute which is well recognized worldwide. You should be at least, see, there's a saying that out of the past 5 years, that are 60 months, you should be 36 months in employment. So that's the basic reason they are asking, like if you've got a training program, like you've been through a structured training program, it should be 3 years. Plus, on top of this, you should, the last 12 months when you're applying for this Royal College MTI, you should be continuously employed for the past 12 months. Any gaps in this will, get your application rejected. And last and the most important thing in MTI, that you should have the intention of going back to your countries once the 2 year program phase has finished. It can be for like minimum of 6 months, maximum up to 24 months, that is 2 years, not more than that for sure. So how do you apply for a post? So now you've got the eligibility criteria in front of you. So if you are eligible, the best way is ideally you should start searching jobs at the various NHS job websites. And see, most of these, the good thing about pediatrics is if you have a MTI post, it is usually advertised as a MTI post, which does not happen in the Royal Colleges. So if you search for the Royal College like pediatric jobs through the Royal College of Child and RCPCH, so you may convert those posts into a MTI post. This looks a little tricky at first, but the thing is, if any post is advertised and you apply for that post saying that you will get a sponsorship, you will try to convince the sponsorship pathway for this. If they are genuinely interested, if they have a real shortage, they will definitely accept you. Else they have always thousand reasons for your application to be getting denied. The trick part here is these advertised posts would be usually the clinical fellow post or the trustgate post. So just apply for them. See, if you think you'll just apply for a post, one or two, and you think you'll be accepted, no. My last video with Dr. Khalid, he said that he had applied for over 200 posts. So you need to be sure that you have to apply for n number of posts. Okay, so now you applied for the post. The Royal College team would give you an application pack which should be completed, and all the guidance would be given on this. You should finish this pack, send it back to them, and then they would process all the application. The good thing about the Royal College of Pediatrics is they do not charge a single rupee as any fee. The same varies from different Royal Colleges, but Royal College of Pediatrics and Child Health does not take any single penny from you. Instead, what they would ask you is to pay for the membership fee of the Royal College and get yourself enrolled as associate members. So yes, that's a cost that you'll have to incur. So once you have done all this, and they would review all the documents, usually by the regional champions before you are given the sponsorship. As I said, if your postgraduate qualification in pediatrics is not already on the list of approved qualifications, you will have already taken, you'll have to present the curriculum basically, and usually you would have to get a letter from the HOD. I don't think this should be a big hurdle task. Usually, as I said, if your college is new or like we are from the developing nations, most of the reputed colleges will definitely, but the newer colleges may not have their, the seats or the qualifications as registered. So no worries, that's not an issue. They would just ask you the proof that you have actually attended the 36 months. So you may have the attendance sheets, you may have the logbooks, you may have a letter from the authority, you may have a letter from the dean or the medical college, or like the superintendent. Anything, any documentation from any legal authority is definitely acceptable here. So congratulations if you have reached this far, because now you'll be given the acceptance letter by the Royal College, which would be used for getting the TF5 visa. So the thing is, you will get confused between the Royal College certificate of sponsorships. So you will get basic two certificate of sponsorships. The first one would be used to get a GMC registration. Once you have the GMC registration, then you would use the second certificate of sponsorship for the tier 5 visa. So as I said, you've got the first certificate of sponsorship, so you apply for the GMC. The GMC may take a couple of months depending on, but if you've done your homework well, you've done your ECFMG verification, you have the good standing certificates from the medical council, you've paid the fees, you have English requirements, I don't think it's gonna be a big hurdle for the GMC. So once you have the GMC registration, you would apply for the tier 5 visa. That's as I said, the second course. And once you have the course with you, just go ahead, apply for the visa application through the various visa companies available wherever. Mostly VFS Global is the one, mostly in the Southeast Asian countries. And once you have received the tier 5 course, you will be able to apply the visas, enter the UK, attend your GMC ID check, and take up your post. And this would conclude the application for the sponsorship. So now you've reached UK. Like for me, I came in the time of lockdown, so luckily I was spared getting this GMC ID check. But few of my friends who've just come now, definitely they go for a GMC ID check either in Manchester or in London. So yes, that's an additional cost that you'll have to incur, but you get a GMC for lifetime. So what are the take-home tips for you guys? So make sure that you've done your part of the eligibility criteria. That is, it's always better that you've done the English criteria, you've done the EPIC verification, and then you're approaching various colleges. So this shows that you actually determined your part of dedication is like clearly evident to them. So yes, they may accept you. The second thing is, most of us do what, like we don't give a weightage to the CV. Make a decent CV. Your CV is virtually representing you in front of the person who's gonna employ you. So always include the various additional courses. Like for instance, your pediatrics, you must at least, they usually have a European pediatric life support recognition. But even if you don't have that, if most of the part, like for in India we have the advanced or the pediatric advanced life support by the American Heart Association, please have it. There's no harm in not having it. You can also have the neonatal life support. As I said, all additional documents, it will definitely give you weightage, plus publications, audits, and teachings. So for instance, if you've taught your juniors or anything, always make sure you have some proof of it. See, that's a mistake I did. I did not knew that I have to collect evidence for this. The best evidence is have an attendance sheet. They give a very good weightage if you have taken feedbacks, which we apparently never do. So if you're still in the application, you still have 6 months time, you're planning like about a year later or something, get teaching proofs. Participate in some audits. Like if you're working in a corporate hospital, or like you may always just do some audit, basic, get some certifications, get some thing published if possible with the audits as well. Apply for as many posts as you can. See, the chances of you getting selected is just barely luck, to be honest, because at times they would have huge requirement and you just apply and you'll get selected. At times they have got a competition, so you may not. So the best thing is apply for as many posts as you can. Prepare well. In this country they're very particular about child abuse. So like I think battered baby syndrome and everything, they would definitely ask you. It's like most of the colleagues of mine who have appeared for the interviews, even in the emergency medicine, there's a pediatric emergency medicine scenario always, and most of them are usually child abuse. Plus read a little about safeguarding issues of children. They're very particular here about that, and you'll definitely get a scenario. So being like from our countries, we have never heard about this, and you'll go blank, and that would definitely reduce your marks. Learn about resuscitation, as I say, because they would just be assessing the basics. That resuscitation would definitely give you an added advantage if you know that. Always be confident, sell yourself well, smile, and hopefully you will get the post. So that's all from my end. Hopefully you like the video. Spread it among your friends who want to pursue their dream of coming to the UK, work in the pediatrics, learn the pediatric evidence-based practice in the UK, and hopefully go back to your countries. Else UK is always there for you. Please subscribe to the channel UK Dreamers. I'll be back with new video hopefully next week. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye bye.